Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to welcome everyone to Beth, Tephilath Moses Synagogue. If you're a guest or a regular or watching on our website, we'd like to welcome you. If you see someone that you haven't met before, please introduce yourself after Kiddush. The end of a beginning. This week's Parsha is Teitzei, Hebrew for when you go. Within it, we find the end of the mitzvot Moshe gives prior to the beginning of the Jewish people entering the land of milk and honey. In last week's Parsha, Shoftim, Moses covers a list of rules for judges, kings, Levites, prophets, cities of refuge, witnesses, war, and unsolved murder victims. I found congruency in its teachings. This week's Parsha, on the other hand, had me completely baffled. It jumps from compassionate laws around the treatment of laborers to crude consequences for adulterous affairs. In the same breath, we are told not to muzzle our oxen while plowing our fields. We're told to stone to death hopelessly rebellious adolescents, to shoo away a mother bird, to wear tzitzit, to build a fence. And so it goes, on and on. Each individual mitzvah seems to stand on its own, but I just couldn't seem to summarize this parsha. It was as if Moshe had all these mitzvot that needed to be said, so he wrote each one on individual pieces of paper and put them in a hat. And he drew each one out, and that's where he placed it. But isn't that life? No congruency, no real order. We take it as it comes. Teitzei contains the second most numerous count of mitzvot in the Torah. Even commentators to the Torah discuss why these mitzvot that appear in Teitzei find their place in the Torah in Moshe's final speech regarding mitzvot to the Jewish people. Their approach to the issue differs. Some are of the opinion, since many of these mitzvot are related to war, settling the land, domesticated human life, and the like, and they appear here because of the impending life-altering change for the Jewish people from a miraculous existence in the desert to a more natural and normal society living. They were now in their own land with all of the changes and problems that such a radical shift of circumstances implies. Other commentators merely say that this is an example that the Torah is not bound in its teachings and text to any narrative time. There is no chronological order to the Torah. All possible explanations are valid, and they're not mutually exclusive. I felt like I was among good company in my search for a summary for this drash. Of the beginning verse, when you go out to wage war against your enemy, God will deliver him into your hands, and you will capture his captives. Rabbi Baal Shem Tov says, also from one's spiritual enemies, one must capture captives. Anything negative in man or in the world can be exploited for good if one learns how to derive from it a lesson in the service of the Creator. An example might be the 7 things one learns from a thief. Be discreet, be fearless, be mindful of details, be patient, be willing and eager, be confident and optimistic, always try again. All of these traits can be exploited for the good. Moshe comes in this Parsha as he's giving the final mitzvot to remind the Jewish people that mitzvot and Torah are the only effective guarantee of the Jewish success and survival, even while engaged in building and defending Jewish sovereignty in the land of Israel. Moshe, in effect, says to them, here are some more mitzvot that will help you succeed. His message is as relevant today as it was to the first Jews who arrived en masse to settle in the land of Israel 33 centuries ago. Build a fence around your rooftop is most likely the first builder's code, and it applies today just like it did then. Shabbat Shalom.